If you are a fan of LEGO, you may have heard recently that they are going to be increasing prices on some sets later at the end of the summer. However, if you haven't, I'm here to cover all that stuff. And as this channel moves forward, I'm going to be having some focus on LEGO based content. And so I feel like this is a good video for me to share my thoughts on LEGO pricing and what this is all going to look like with LEGO moving forward and with this channel moving forward is all sort of intertwined. So that's what I'm talking about today. If you haven't already heard the statement put out by LEGO, they released an official thing right here, which I'm going to read off my phone. This is exactly what LEGO put out to the world. The current global economic challenges of increased raw material and operating costs are impacting many businesses. Putting consumers first is at the heart of what we do as a company, and for some time we have absorbed these costs to keep pricing stable. However, as these costs have continued to rapidly rise, we have taken the decision to increase the price on some of our sets. This increase will come into effect in August and September. The increase will differ depending on the set, and prices will change on around a quarter of the portfolio. On some sets we will not alter the price, on others there will be a single-digit increase, and on larger, more complex sets the percentage increase will be higher. We will continue to work to ensure our products offer great value, and fully recognize how important this is to our fans and to everyone who loves our products. So there's a few things to sort of take in with that. Obviously the big thing is that they're increasing prices on some sets. They said a quarter of their portfolio. I'm assuming that just means about a fourth, 25% of the sets are going to be a little more pricey. In what ways is this going to be? I'm not entirely sure. They do say that most of them are going to be larger sets, so I'm going to assume that some of the 18 plus sort of deluxe, I don't know if you want to call them premium sets, those are going to be the ones that I assume are going to have an increased price. I'm interested to see how it affects things like the LEGO art mosaics. If they sell well, if they continue to do those, are they going to increase the price? Because I don't know how well they sell to begin with. The same thing goes for the helmets, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel, that sort of thing. Or DC, they've done some DC ones too. I'm expecting it for the most like the one-off sets. Like the Optimus Prime set, I can imagine, I think right now, and keep in mind, I'm Canadian, so whenever I deal with LEGO, I deal with things in Canadian prices. The Optimus Prime LEGO set right now is about $220. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that go up somewhere to like $250. There is worry from the community that they are going to push people out of the hobby with these price increases. I know right now I'm saving for university. I can't really afford to buy LEGO at all. If I'm going to review stuff right now, it's stuff that I already have. To increase prices means it's also harder for me to buy stuff if I want to review it here. I am really hoping that smaller stuff like the $25 sets, Canadian mind you, I've always loved the $25 price point. I think it's a really comfortable price point. Most of the sets there are usually fairly reasonably priced, and I would like to see that stay. I really don't want to see those $25 sets go to $30. It really would just kill some of that stuff for me. I do know that the Speed Champions, James Bond, and Fast and Furious cars that are coming out are both supposed to be $25. If I could afford it, I don't know if I will be able to, I'd love to pick both of those up day one if they're both $25. I think they're both beautiful cars, beautiful models, perfect price point. If they're $30, I don't know if I'd swing that. I know it doesn't seem like a big difference, but for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money to spend on this sort of thing, it really is challenging. And it does come down to licensed themes. I do know stuff like Minecraft, I've always thought were very well priced. Things like the Minecraft dungeon sets. I have the Redstone battle. That one was super well priced. For me, personally, I've always thought of it as, in Canadian dollars, the ideal price for me, and it's rarely met. But when it is, I feel like it's perfect. $10 should be about 100 pieces. And it changes depending on how many minifigures are in it, how large the pieces are, how complex the pieces are, and it kind of can be all over the place. But I think of the Minecraft dungeon set, for example. That is my sort of go-to example for a perfectly priced set. It was just over 500 pieces. It was $50 Canadian. It had 4 exclusive minifigures, and it had a variety of new pieces as well. And there weren't even stickers. Minecraft doesn't have stickers in their sets. It was all printed. So all those things that should mean it's more expensive. They could have went $70 with that set. They did $50, and it's chef's kiss. I think that is a perfect set. And then you look at Star Wars. I love Star Wars Lego, right? But it is probably the most commonly overpriced theme. It might be a little beat out by Jurassic World, but Star Wars, for example, I think of the General Grievous Starfighter. It wasn't even 500 pieces, and it was $120. One of the most severely overpriced sets I've ever seen, and I don't even want to think about what that would mean with the price increase. Or you look at that Luke Skywalker Dark Trooper battle that they put out this year from The Mandalorian. It was less than 200 pieces. I pray that it's over 150. I'll put the number up just to be sure. But that's $40 Canadian. That is way overpriced. You have a Luke Skywalker minifigure, which is nice. You have 3 Dark Troopers. The Dark Trooper isn't even a new figure. It might be a complicated mold, but it's not new. And so I just don't understand why that one was so expensive. That should have been 25, and even that was still not that perfect ratio that I would have wanted, right? I know with these themes, you have to pay the licenses more money, and maybe it's a different deal between Disney compared to something like Microsoft and Mojang with Minecraft. Like I said, Minecraft, they're usually pretty well priced, but even now the new wave, while I think some of them are decently priced, some of them are not. Some of them are a little expensive, 700 pieces and $120. Like, that's kind of rough. The fact that this affects current sets, I don't really love. And so it's really, there is that element of FOMO, fear of missing out. Now that's all the things with Lego pricing, but why are they actually doing this, right? Now, they mentioned raw materials. Lego is still a petroleum-based product. As oil prices are rising all around the globe, of course, Lego seems to be needing money more than ever to actually make the product. There's a few things here. One, Lego had record profits last year, a couple $1 billion net, I believe. I'll put the number up. They are investing over $1 billion. They have over $1 billion to spend to invest in a US factory. Because all of their stuff is made in Denmark right now, they're going to have a factory in the States. Smart business move and a lot of money, but they are also able to spend that money. Do they need to raise prices to make more profit? I don't know. You would think that they're going to be making more profit as opposed to just offsetting costs. It's hard to say. It's hard to see. Again, not everything is going to be increased. But also by 2030, Lego's plan is to have a fully plant-based brick system. I believe it is based off of sugarcane is the plant that it comes from. And I'm really excited for that because I love the fact that they're going with an environmentally friendly solution to bricks as opposed to oil, which is great. And I'm wondering with this price increase, is it going to push them to make plant-based bricks faster? Or are they going to see that there is more money to be made here? Are they going to keep those price increases even if they go plant-based? Is plant-based going to be more expensive to make? Where is that line drawn? And not only that, are they going to see a dip in profits because Lego is more expensive? Not entirely, but enough. Or are they going to make another record year? We're all going to have to wait and see. And how this goes down may affect years to come in the Lego market. And that's the last thing I really want to touch on, is the fact that Lego is a toy. And it's not just any toy, but it's a very, very well-made toy. It has brand trust and loyalty with all of its customers. And it's the top toy in the world, right? So with the price increase, right, it does make me think about inflation in the toy market. As somebody who buys different collectibles and figures and Lego and all that stuff, I've noticed significantly a huge increase in toy prices in the last several years. It's not just inflation where it's like a few cents, couple dollars every couple of years. It's like significantly really expensive. Action figures especially. I saw a Kenner has come back for some reason. I guess people are nostalgic for crappy action figures that have barely any articulation. And there was an R2-D2 figure, really small, like only about this tall. And it had a little gold coin and it was like $25, where I did not see the value in it. If it's a collectible, sure, but the collectibles I buy, I like to be worth the amount of money to begin with. Funko Pop figures, as you can see, I have some. I have a billion more up top here, but that is a great thing to look at. I think of Pop Rides, which were Funko Pops in their vehicles. I have Deadpool in his chimichanga van. I have Ant-Man on his aunt, Anthony. More recently, you have stuff like Catwoman on her motorcycle. Now the Deadpool on his chimichanga, when I got it, it was $30, and it was pretty big. And I was like, okay, I get it. It's way larger. It's like 3 times the size of a normal pop figure. A normal pop is like $13, and now this Catwoman on her motorcycle, it's significantly smaller. It's not even really like double the size of a pop figure, and it's $40. I've seen these pop deluxes go as high as $45. They have the 10-inch tall pop figures, which are kind of take away the charm for me, and those are $50 sometimes. So they range depending on where you shop. They've passed these things off as deluxe or whatnot by giving the character a stand or something to sit on and make it like bigger and a deluxe, more detail, whatever. And the price is way higher. Now, whether or not that is for costs, I don't know, but it's not worth it. And I really struggle to believe that these things cost this much. I go to EB Games, or it's now called GameStop here in Canada. They officially switched the name. There are toys and blind bags. There are little blind bags with like a bag chain or whatever. Really small figurines, and they will go for $17. Really expensive garbage. It really is banking off that idea of a collectible. People like collectibles. People want them to be affordable. Affordable ones are, they're more consumer friendly. With the toy market sort of bringing prices up gradually because of what other companies can charge and get away with, I am surprised that LEGO hasn't done the same yet. Now, this, like they said, is motivated by those material costs. And I'm wondering if this is something that we're going to see more affect the toy market, or if the toy market is going to more affect the LEGO. It's hard to say. And as you can tell, I have a lot to say about it. Of course, I'm not happy about it. I want LEGO to succeed as a company, but I want myself as a consumer to succeed even more. That's the challenge here, right? So hopefully we get some good stuff. If they're going to charge more for certain sets, they need to prove that worth. I still want to make LEGO content moving forward, but I feel like this was a really important video to make when it comes to the pricing of LEGO and how I look at things, and it definitely does factor into how I judge a certain set. That being said, that's really all I have to say about this. If there are any more updates, I will update in a newer video. But if you like this sort of stuff, if you found this informative, I would really appreciate a like or a comment if you have feedback, and subscribing helps as well. Thank you all very much for watching, and as always, stay tuned.